Good morning, KBVR Corvallis. My name is Jake McGrady, and we are back with another Friday episode of Second String Sports. In case you are wondering, I was gone last week.
The comeback.
I had some things to do last week, but I'm finally back, and we got some great sports to talk about. I don't even know where to start this. Why don't you start off, Logan? We have NFL, NBA.
We could start talking about with some latest news. Do you want to talk about Incognito?
Incognito
and Martin.
Yeah, Incognito and Martin.
That's probably one of the biggest news in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Almost unnecessary news, too.
Yeah.
Incognito is quote-unquote bullying Martin, and I watching Sports Center, and they're saying that Martin and Incognito were like best friends, and he's just almost like joking around. And there's some speculation of the coaches saying, "Yo, get Martin, in shape." And then, Incognito he's a Pro Bowler. He's a grown man. He knows what's up, and If you listen to the voicemail was a little out of hand. There was a few things you hear and you're like, why did he say that? Then that was a little much. But how do you guys feel about it? I feel like it's dragging on almost too long.
Well, now something else about Incognito's coming up, that he was last year investigated for molestation at a golf tournament. So I mean,
I don't know if Logan's done his research. Have you seen the footage of the videos from him in the bars last year and stuff?
No. Was that just new news?
Yeah, that was new news.
Oh yeah, with his shirt off.
Screaming racial profanities. Incognito is trash. I want him out of the league. Bye, Richie. Can't play anymore.
But at the same time, Jonathan Martin, I mean, he checked himself into the hospital for mental abuse.
Yeah, it's almost he just like left the team, and he's just like out of like rage.
We'll see what happens. I don't know.
No.
The things that he said, if they're true, that's inexcusable, bullying or not.
Yeah, but yeah, it is then. Yeah, I'm so conflicted on this topic. I don't know.
Yeah. What topic do you guys want to talk about now?
We just move straight into the actual NFL
We
games
could do a little
coming
Ducks.
Yeah, you guys want to talk about the big Duck game last night?
I'd prefer to talk about that, actually.
Yeah, we'll move into that. That's a big one.
So, Ducks.
Stanford. So, Stanford won 26-20. Both teams are now 8-1.
But 26-20, let's point that out, that it was 26-0.
They scored 20 points in the fourth quarter.
It's a lot closer than it should seem. Let's put it that way. Let's not get around the fact that the Ducks got embarrassed. And I would just like to point out the Oregon State-Stanford game was a good game for the last 20 seconds. We held along with their defense, and the Ducks didn't do anything. The Ducks cried.
The biggest difference, Josh Huff was seen crying on the sideline after the third quarter.
What a baby.
For me, the biggest difference was Stanford's rushing game. They had 274 yards on the ground. Yeah. And 14 for 21 on third downs. I mean, probably 10 of those 14 were just runs.
Crazy.
Yeah, because Gaffney has just been a beast and is just running with his head down. I think the last 3 games, I think they've played Arizona State and then us. And against the Utah game, when they lost, I remember watching some of that game, and they didn't run the ball at all during that game. And that kind of, then they kind of go back to their old school running game, and look what they've done. So I know I've been a Stanford hater this whole year, but after the last couple games,
you have.
When I watched them here, and then I watched them on TV last night. They've impressed me. Hogan still does not impress me at all. He makes smart. He's almost like an Alex Smith, but I don't. I'm kind of.
He's like a Tebow. That's all he does is run. He tucks it and runs.
He runs, and then he makes the pass when he needs to make the pass.
Yeah, he makes short passes.
But Gaffney ran the ball 24 times in the first half, and then overall runs the ball, I think, 40.
Yeah, something in the 40s.
He ran the ball 45 times last night. That's what they did.
Gaffney,
I think I forget how many third down conversions they had. They had 14 conversions on third down, and I'm pretty sure 13 of those conversions were running the ball.
Ducks also had 10 penalties for 81 yards when Stanford only had 2. Time of possession, Stanford had it for 42 minutes, or Ducks had it for 17. Stanford had 66 rushing attempts to the Ducks 24. Jeez.
That is insane.
Yeah, Stanford's defense, they were impressive.
Yep, Stanford defense. Their D line.
And they were, I forget, one of their defensive linemen, he was down, and I think he tore one of his pectoral muscles.
Yeah.
And they looked good without him too.
Yeah, both their lines just same thing happened to the Beavers. We just got overpowered by their lines and worn down, and that's what Alabama and SEC schools do too. It's just they have more skill positions than Stanford. Their running backs and wide receivers are better, which is why they're powerhouses. But Stanford's.
Did you guys say you could see Stanford in the national championship? Maybe
Stanford's not going to the Natty.
I think they're going to the Rose Bowl though.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yep.
If they win out the Pac-12 North and they win the Pac-12
will.
There's no way they're going to the Natty though. Florida State's probably going to go.
No, Florida State and who else is ahead of them? I feel.
Well, Bama.
Yeah, Bama. But there's also someone else. I feel like.
I don't know.
Oh.
And
no, it's Ohio State. Ohio State still has a better shot to get to the Natty than
Ohio State undefeated.
Yeah,
still?
Ohio State's undefeated. Ohio State's getting no love. Columbus,
they're like one of the sleepers of college football. Ever since their issues they had, I feel like they're just not even discussed anymore.
No, yeah, they should be discussed. Their team's pretty solid. I've watched a couple of games.
I agree.
Braxton Miller.
Yeah.
Braxton Miller is putting up numbers this year. I think he missed one game, but I think if Florida State, I could see a Bama, Ohio State or matchup there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It'd be kind of nice to get somebody different in Florida State than the typical.
The typical Bama.
Typical Bama, Ohio State, Bama plays LSU this weekend too.
Yeah, that'll be a big game.
1 versus 13.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
I think the best thing is just seeing the Duck fans on Twitter last night. you can't get much better than Duck fans after losses. Most despicable creatures on the earth, crawling out of their hole to just talk trash. God.
Yeah, the highlight of that game was not any gameplay for me. It was just seeing Josh Huff cry on the sideline.
I agree. He had his thing a couple weeks ago about the NCAA
getting busted for a party. Yeah, and gets into a Twitter fight with Odd Beaver, aka Jake.
Yeah, I got a little Twitter beef resolved with him on Twitter, but he explained himself on that. But honestly, after last night. There's not, passionate, yes. In the moment, yes. But there's no excuse for crying in the third quarter. That's like just showing your teammates the ultimate sign of weakness. Yeah. He's just just screaming, I can't handle the pressure.
Yeah, I give him. Okay, so there's no excuse for the crying, but at least he's showing the emotion, unlike DeAnthony Thomas.
I agree with you.
Who is just laughing on the sideline. I'd rather see someone cry and actually care.
I do agree with you on that.
Than DeAnthony Thomas cry.
Honestly, I don't know what's up with DeAnthony. Ever since he's played, and ever since he started for the Ducks, his interviews, there's something wrong with him. There's something wrong in his head.
Hey, you don't call out scoring out 40 points. You're going to score 40
points.
That
was ridiculous.
And then you're just putting up bulletin boards for Stanford's defense.
Yeah, I agree.
You're going to score 40 points on us? We'll see what happens.
And especially with the Ducks' high-powered offense, they can score so quickly. Yeah. To see Josh, with the whole quarter left, to see him crying, that's just telling your team, like, we've lost, and there's still a whole quarter left.
And then he left.
Yeah. Ducks could have easily won that game if they had gotten it together.
Yeah, took a hit and left the field.
So the leading Heisman candidate,
Marcus Mariota. Go home, Marcus.
He made some dumb decisions last night. There was a couple plays where he tries to hold on to the ball and he throw it away, and he's just holding on to it, and then and then there was 2 times where he fumbled. One of it where he covered it, but
I mean, yes, the Beavers do have our problems too, but it's finally good to have the week. Like, it's just finally good to be able to expose some of the things that the Ducks are not perfect at still.
Yeah.
What I didn't understand
far
was
from perfect.
when Stanford kept bringing those blitzes every time, why didn't Mariota just take it and run? That's what he kills people with.
He's best at.
That's what he's
known for.
Yeah, there was a couple times where
he got the fourth down conversion, but I didn't see him in the first half at all. He was trying to pass the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest story, I read the article by Dwight Janes, is the several situations in the red zone on 4th and down that the Ducks got stopped by Stanford's front seven.
The first quarter.
If you would have gone for a field goal, this game would be in different discussion right now. Who knows? Who knows what could have happened? And he said, do you call it confidence or arrogance on the Ducks' part?
Well, the play wasn't even good. It was a fade route in the first quarter.
They didn't even run a good attempt.
It's like you don't trust Maldonado from 4 yards. Like
I would hope you could trust him.
They can only trust Maldonado with onside kicks.
With onside kicks, yeah.
That's true.
Do you see the way he put it on the tee?
Yeah.
It's like sideways.
No,
Maldonado.
If I'm anybody in the Pac-12, I am just trying to get the Stanford's defensive coordinator, Derek Mason, and just trying to, what is he doing with his game plans?
And his recruiting.
The NFL is going to be calling.
Well, they're all their defense is like juniors and seniors. I think like 15 out of their 20 players are like juniors and seniors.
They've seen this offense before. They know it.
Yeah.
Showed.
So now that we're moving away from the Ducks, do you guys? I know it's going to be hard. If you want to talk a little Beavs of last week and coming up for this week.
Yeah.
I know your guys' show last week was on the day of the fateful Friday.
Yeah.
That's what I like to call it.
Last game.
It's not much we can
so
say
much
about it,
high hopes because it's USC. No one wants to see USC win. Whenever they're playing.
Orange out, new jerseys, all the dads there.
You know, Marquise Lee last week went off, and as well, Grant, who's their running back? What's their running back's name again?
Oh, I forgot. Oh, Silas Red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The Penn State transfer.
Yeah. You know, it was almost like a Gaffney running there. Yeah. He just ran with his head down, and
that's the problem with the Beavers is their D-line is just
D-line.
Well, I like obviously Scott, but after him.
But at the start of the year, I was giving crap about the Beavers' pass defense, and they picked that up, and now it's the run defense now.
Yeah, their secondary is great. I think we need Doctor back, but
yeah, that hurt us big time. We've had critical injury losses. Our line was hurting. Even our offensive line was still hurting. We had 2 injuries, and pardon, I don't know his name, but one of our biggest defensive linemen is out for the year with knee surgery. You know, that game was that game's what I like to call momentum shifting games. Just so many moments in that game, the turnovers, the blocked field goal, you know, and then we scored 14 in 14 seconds, which got the crowd hyped. But you know, if that's the only 14 we score in the game,
14-14.
Tied 14-14. The punt return, you know, it was crazy.
Did you say it?
But, you know, Brandon Cooks was double covered the whole time, the whole game. But what else do you guys have to say about it?
Should we do a little PSA break? And
yeah. So
this has been
we're going to come back to you. This has been KBVR Corvallis. We'll come right back, talk a little. What do you say?
Maybe go NFL.
Little finish up on college football, a little NFL action. All right. We'll be right back.
It's time to art around again with the 11th annual Philomath Open Studios Tour and Sale, featuring local artists and introducing fresh ideas, new media, and different venues. On October 26th and 27th and November 2nd and 3rd from noon until 5, over 24 talented artists will be showcasing their work at 11 different scenic sites throughout the Philomath area. Preview each artist's page and access the site maps and addresses at www.philomathopenstudios.com or contact Catherine at 541-929-2717.
And we're back. That was a little PSA action for you guys. So now that we're finished up, we talked our Beavs. You know, do we want to give a slight little 2-minute preview for next week? We'll be able to talk about it on next week's show. But do you have any thoughts going into Arizona State this bye week? You think it's going to help us, or think it's going to be a little hindrance?
Arizona State's now ranked 21st in the nation.
Yeah, I saw that.
Looking a little tough, but I don't know. I'm hoping for a win. Will they get it? Maybe they can get a solid turnaround, but I'm going to go with the Beavs. but I haven't really.
I have to go with the Beavs.
They haven't shown any pride in the last couple games.
Yeah. Pride, heart, whatever you want to call it. Something was wrong against USC, and something needs to be fixed against Arizona State to have any chance.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about it. We'll talk about it more next Friday, but I hope something can get turned around.
Yeah.
ASU's 5-0 at home. Could be.
Yeah. I've been in that stadium. It's pretty loud.
You've been to Arizona State?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah. Basketball trip.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, you guys want to talk about the Trevor Romaine feud on Twitter?
Yeah, there was a little bit of an issue on Twitter following the game with a couple players calling out the Beaver fans, which I half agree with, but I half have to think that if you're going to call out a fan, there's reason. If you're that passionate about a team, there's reason to be upset after a loss. There's reason to be upset with the way the team plays and if they don't carry themselves. Yes, we're not on the field playing, but it's just a matter of fact that, you're going to be upset. You can't. What do you expect? The fans to be cheering into the last minute of the game?
Yeah, but don't take it out on us when you're down by 20. We're not going to be rooting for you if you're losing.
Exactly.
Yeah, then he goes, who's trying to show up and show me how to kick? Just like, who cares?
So, obviously we're going to be upset. You can't expect us to, when you play like that.
Yeah. Tough feelings by both fans and players, I can imagine. Just seeing Brandon Cooks after the game, I know. In the interview, he said it's the most upset that he's been ever after a loss.
And even in that USC game, they were talking so much trash to him. You could
tell.
Yeah.
Double coverage, Yeah,
he's been Cooks is getting double and triple
which
coverage.
is understandable because teams are finally catching on that if you don't, he's going to smoke you.
Yeah, because now the only way they've been able to get Brandon the ball is on slant routes.
Which isn't going to work for us.
And quick passes to the sideline. And that
Mulaney's been picking up the slack, but as much as he can do, he's a great player, but he had some critical drops. I don't know if we discussed it, but the loss of Kevin Cummings, that could hurt us. The tight ends are back, though. Connor Hamlet had a pretty good game, actually, against USC.
The three-headed monster of the tight ends.
Our tight ends are pretty beast. So let's make the transition. We'll finish talking about Arizona State next Friday when it's actually relevant because next week is the game. But let's move into a little NFL talk with the games coming up in a few days here on Sunday.
We had a game last night as well.
Yeah?
Minnesota and Washington. Minnesota actually squeaked this one out.
Yeah, I was watching some analysis on Washington, and people are saying, do they still have a chance of making the playoffs? Does RG3 have a chance to make the run that he did last year around this exact time?
Anybody has a chance in that division right now.
In that division?
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the Giants started the season off at 0-6, and they still have an opportunity to try to make the playoffs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't even know. RG3 is just not the same as he ever was. Well, I'm not going to say ever was.
He had three touchdowns in the first half, but then after that,
he had a good game.
He didn't do anything. Adrian Peterson, I think Adrian Peterson went off last night too for close to 100 yards and a touchdown or so.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger question is who wins AFC West. Broncos 7-1, Chiefs 9-0.
Yeah, well, Chiefs are on their bye week, and then
Chargers are 4-4. That's not bad.
After the Chiefs have their bye week, and then after that week 11 is the big game. Chiefs and the Broncos.
I understand that the Chiefs defense is amazing, but I don't see them winning at all with Alex Smith as their coach. He's just a manager.
Everyone's hating.
That's what I was about to say. He's a game manager. He's not a dynamic changer.
That's true.
He just hands off to Jamal Charles, and you just shut down Charles. I mean,
we'll see.
They had Dwayne Bowe, and
that game is deciding day, or judgment day against the Broncos. I'm excited for that.
Well, I
know Logan's excited, but
for it.
9-0. We'll see what happens.
One of the biggest storylines last week was Nick Foles throwing 7 touchdowns. What do you think about the Eagles' chances to make a run?
No. Oh my. No.
Jake's hating on Chip Kelly again.
Not even Chip Kelly, just the Eagles organization, I think, is a sad excuse for a football team right now.
Why? Explain.
Chip Kelly, the way he carries himself in the locker room, the way he carries himself in interviews, he has no. When they try to answer, I've seen several interviews. The way they question him, he has no answers. Nick Foles, I believe, is going to be the starter for the Philadelphia next year. Michael Vick at best.
Michael Vick's not going to be
second
back.
string, if not retired.
He might not.
He's not going to retire.
Yeah, he's not going to retire. He's just not going to be on the team.
Well,
they're not re-signing him. There's no way.
Yeah.
He's going to ask for a big contract, and
I
think they should just draft somebody like. Well, I don't even know if. I don't know where Mariota will go now, but he'll still be first round.
I could see that.
He fits perfectly in their system.
Maybe the
It's
Jags.
like Michael Vick 2.0.
Chip knows him.
Jags. No, I think Mariota
Jaguars
go a little bit higher.
Or the Bucks, maybe.
I think I could see him there. I think Nick Foles is the quarterback of the future that Philadelphia needs to build around. Just ignore Michael Vick. Doesn't even need to suit up. Just tell him to go home.
At the same time, though, it's only been one game, so who really knows?
Yeah, true.
But
he showed promise, though.
Another really close division is the NFC North. Lions and Bears play. Lions, Bears, Packers are all 5-3. Lions and Bears play on Sunday.
NFC North is a tight division.
What do you guys think about that?
Jay Cutler's back.
Packers are out because Rodgers is out for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, 3 to 4 weeks. That is a huge.
Discount double check.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
more out discount rib check.
Jay Cutler's coming back for the Bears though, which will be big.
Mm-hmm. His strain no area. We'll see how he does coming back. But yeah, I don't know. I could see the Bears taking that division.
Honestly, don't know.
It's a toss up.
One of the bigger surprises has probably been the Panthers, 5-3 in the NFC South.
Yeah, the Panthers are
one game behind the Saints.
Our boy Dockery.
Yeah,
and his team.
Does he get any minutes?
Might have a few tackles here and there.
Practice squad minutes. J-Doc.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, because what was the big game last week? The big surprising game last week was the Jets beating the Saints, which actually made that division look a little bit closer.
Saving his job one day at a time, Rex Ryan. One game at a time. He's just building himself back up. New York's loving him again. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and the other big game was Jake, your Seahawks.
As much as I hate to talk about it, I will talk about that.
Barely pulling that one out against the
Something's
Bucks.
brewing in the water, and I am nervous.
Seahawks play Falcons on Sunday, which is, of course, a rematch of
last year's NFC title game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out for blood on that one. NFC West, the way these last 2 weeks have gone has got me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, because the Niners on a 5-game win streak.
The Niners are on a 5-game win streak. The Seahawks almost lost to Tampa Bay in Seattle. In Seattle, of all places, it had to resort to going to overtime. Russell Wilson has never lost at home ever.
And they were down 21-0.
It's the power of Revis Island.
Yeah, that's the matchup I'm looking at.
Shutting down Doug Martin.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes against the Falcons on Sunday. I hope that's an easy pullout. I hope Pete Carroll does something.
Yeah.
Because I know the players are dissatisfied. I've watched the interviews. Sidney Rice out for the year. That's a blow. And then we got Percy Harvin flip-flopping, not knowing. I don't want him to force it.
Waiting for a clearance.
But not gonna lie, we need him.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Who's the go-to then? Who's the go-to wide receiver?
That's what I was gonna say. The
Tate or Baldwin.
The go-to.
Tate.
Or Zach Miller, tight end.
See it, old Zach.
Golden Tate, as explosive as he is, he's not the presence that I would like. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
I do like Golden Tate though.
I love Golden Tate. That 75-yard punt return. Whew.
And with the little taunting.
That's something else we could say. That was against the Rams.
Yeah.
Good player's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Guys, game of the week. Jaguars, Titans.
I think that'll get a total of 20 households viewing that game.
In Florida and Tennessee.
Do we want to pick some scores here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could pick the biggest games of the week, see what we're going to say. Eagles, Packers.
I'm going Eagles.
I'm going Eagles.
It's in Green Bay.
in Green Bay.
Nah, I don't think
Seneca Wallace.
There was a funny thing on Bleacher Report where Seneca Wallace was compared to Uncle Rico.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Napoleon Dynamite's uncle.
Throwing motion.
That was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. Jags Titans, we don't even need to talk about that. That's gonna be a trash game.
We'll skip to Seahawks Falcons. Seahawks at Falcons. I'm taking Seahawks. Falcons have been kind of a disappointment.
I'm taking Seattle too. If you can't come off of a...
They're going to be upset about last weekend.
If you can't come out of going to overtime against Tampa Bay in Seattle and turn something around, I don't know what to say. So I'm going to have to go with Seattle.
Yeah.
My team, the Ravens, playing the Bengals at home. That's a huge game.
Bengals all the way.
That's got serious implications. No way. Ravens are taking that at home. And Ravens are going to make a run at the wild card spot.
Nah, the Bengals are looking tough, Grant. I don't know.
Nah, Bengals are always overrated.
Don't let you hurt.
Andy Dalton can't do anything.
Conflict with your mind.
I really don't like. I don't know why Andy Dalton is even a starter in the NFL.
He had a bad week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
I don't get it. Like, they try and force these draft picks to be like, just because they draft bad doesn't mean they like Sam Bradford. Why do they keep forcing Sam Bradford? He hasn't shown any growth, I feel like.
Or teams invest so much money, they just feel it's a necessity to just hold on.
But it's like if your franchise isn't going anywhere, like Brandon Whedon, like
not everyone can be a miracle draft pick that comes out of nowhere like Russell Wilson. Shout out.
that was a great draft pick.
But like I agree with Grant. Like if you're gonna draft a quarterback late and that's your only chance, tank the season.
Yeah.
Tank for Wiggins.
Yeah, tank for Wiggins.
Or just trade the quarterback or something. You could probably trade Bradford for some picks now for the Rams.
Take the summer in free agency. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? Yeah. The Rams are in trouble.
Lions at Bears.
Lions at Bears? I got Chicago.
I got Lions.
Nah, I got Chicago.
I got Chicago. Jay Cutler's coming back. They're going to be emotional.
Jay Cutler's going to be
I'll remember this moment when the Lions win this weekend.
All right. Mark it. We'll talk about it next week, but I got Chicago.
Panthers, Niners. That's actually
I don't know.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch. Kaepernick versus Newton.
I'll enjoy that.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game.
I'll if the Niners lose.
Cam Newton is one of my favorite players.
Superman.
But I still see Niners pulling that one out. Texans at Cardinals. Blah. That sounds boring. Broncos at Chargers. Broncos.
Yeah. Cowboys Saints could be interesting.
I'm probably going to roll with the Saints on that one.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good game.
After last week, they better get their ish together.
Yeah, I'm just going to relax and watch the NFL this week with no troubles.
No troubles?
Chiefs on bye.
No connections.
Chiefs on bye.
All right, that pretty much covers the NFL. I think we're going to hit you guys with another little PSA, and then we're going to finish up the hour with some NBA talk, wrapping it all up. All right. You're listening to KBVR Corvallis, Second String Sports. I'm Jake McGrady, Grant Van Dyke, Logan McGinnis. Catch us.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. Start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to KBVR Corvallis, the Second String Sports, and we are going to talk a little NBA.
The best sport on earth.
The currently, after about an average of 5 to 6 games,
you can it's early, but you can get a little bit of a sense of where teams are going to be at. I don't know.
Indiana's 5-0.
Indiana's smoking.
Paul George
is impressing me game
probably
by
the MVP
game.
leader right now.
And Hibbert's stepping up too.
You're calling MVP candidate Paul George?
Maybe I say he's early MVP candidate for me right now.
Wow.
I'm picking him.
Michael Carter-Williams for MVP.
Maybe. Look a little ahead of yourself. We'll give him the rookie.
I like Michael Carter-Williams a lot.
Yeah, he's
We'll give him Rook of the Year.
Yeah, he's making some news. He's trying to put them doubters down because he's
said he should be.
He said he should be #1 overall pick, and he just wants to prove all the haters wrong.
Well, I never understood that Anthony Bennett pick in the first place, but he should. I still don't.
1 for 20.
He wasn't that.
Bust.
MC Dub wasn't that great in college. I mean, he was really good. Don't get me wrong, but he wasn't #1 potential. So I don't know why he's.
I think going into the draft, I thought it was going to be Oladipo. I thought he was going to go first, but then
he worked out for so many teams, and then after the workouts, he just slowly he worked out for the Blazers, and there was discussion for him at the 10th, but obviously that got taken out when he started performing. And he just has a great work ethic.
I think Oladipo or Carter-Williams will be the best player out of that draft.
Yeah.
And sure. Miami's 4-2, Philly's 3-2, Charlotte is 3-2, Orlando's 3-2. We know these standings don't mean anything.
How about the game last night, the Magic in Houston? Or
Lakers?
Yeah, Lakers.
Lakers, Steve Blake, the White Mamba.
Draining that
Portland represent.
Draining that 3 to end the game.
Yeah, that was clutch. That was real clutch.
As much as I hate on Goofy Blake, I loved him with his time with the Blazers. He's doing his thing. He doesn't have much more to play for in his career, so he might as well just finish out with the Lakers. But Kobe's got to be happy. Kobe's got to be happy with that win, because Kobe and Dwight have had their falling out after that whole dilemma. James Harden had a great game, though.
Yeah, Chicago, New York, Washington. People predicted all 3 to be playoff teams are 1-3. Boston's 1-4 in early season tank mode, so is Utah's 0-5.
Boston's trash.
Race for Wiggins. #race for Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I could see Boston landing Wiggins.
Boston. But then, what do they do with Rondo? I feel like they're just gonna waste Rondo's career.
And Rondo says he wants to stay.
He comes back.
I want to stay for the Celtics.
So he can pass it to Jared Solinger and Jeff Green.
I don't know. And then if we want to talk about a sleeper, a little quick fantasy basketball side note, Kelly Olynyk, free agency pickup of the year for me. 15 points, 8 boards, 3 assists, and a block. Kelly.
I don't trust white guys with long hair.
Big horseman. He's the big galloping tree trunk of the NBA.
Kelly's good on offense.
Kelly Gonzaga.
That's all I'll say. I'll keep it positive.
Keep it positive? Nah. I don't know. I would say he has potential, but not much you can live for in Boston right now.
More potential than Myers Leonard.
Oh my.
What do you guys think? Who's going to be better in 5 years?
Myers Leonard.
Yeah, Myers Leonard.
Okay, I was totally being sarcastic.
This is the thing that gets me heated about Blazer fans completely hating on Myers. Yes, he is one of the goofiest. He has no offensive court presence at all. Not offensive. He just does not. I feel like
court awareness. I feel like he doesn't even know.
Perfect word for it. I feel like his basketball IQ is not anywhere near what an NBA player needs to be.
It looks like when he goes out there, the game's moving too fast for him. It just hasn't slowed down.
He needs,
stretched out Justin
People
Bieber.
are giving him crap. Yeah, Justin Bieber.
His hair needs to go.
His hair needs to go. Luke Babbitt's bowl was better. Trey Ball's.
That's on a Jonathan Martin level.
Oh my. But Myers Leonard, second year in the NBA. We all know how long big men take to develop in the NBA. But
look at DeAndre. It's taken him what?
Look at DeAndre. Yeah.
I don't even know how many years he's been. in the league.
With the exception of Anthony Davis, but the #1 pick, he's just a.
But everybody knew.
Everyone knew he's a dynamic player.
We know Myers is going to be a project.
Myers, he's like he's like what Anthony Bennett is right now. He's shown glimpses. He has a great jump shot. He's a 7-foot body. He's one of the most athletic. Okay, not on the team, but he is extremely athletic.
For how tall he is, yeah.
For how tall he is, he can move, but he just needs. I think part of the problem is he's not going to get playing time. With Joel Freeland out for the Blazers, Joel Freeland's probably going to be back
until he
maybe
actually
tonight,
becomes a defensive presence.
Rolo.
That's why we signed Robin. So I'm
Robin Lopez. Mr. Caveman.
Rolo.
I don't know. I was impressed with him. I was impressed with him in the San Antonio game.
And as expected, the Spurs are pulling their regular 65 win regular season, so we can lose in the playoffs. They're 4-1, first in the West. Their system works well for regular season, but when it gets crunch time,
whoa, NBA Finals.
I mean, yeah, but they didn't win. It doesn't matter.
Whoa, Portland making the NBA Finals.
Irrelevant.
I'm just saying their system is built to get a lot of wins.
For any first-time listeners, Mr. Logan McGinnis in the corner is Spurs fanatic, and me and Grant are Blazer fanatics. So that's probably some of the talk you're going to get throughout the NBA season. But it's too early to judge.
Golden State's looking good, 4-1.
Golden State's looking good.
OKC 3-1. Houston 4-2.
Man, Houston.
Kevin Love for MVP.
Kevin Love.
K-Love, fantasy team, shout out.
Actually, I think MVP right now would be Chris Paul.
Chris Paul?
Although the Clippers are 9th. But
I'm saying Paul George is MVP right now. K-Love, close second.
I mean, Chris Paul put up 42, 15, and 6. He is putting the team on his back like Marshawn Lynch.
Shout out Marshawn, but
shout out.
Never been a huge Clipper believer. If you're a big KBVR fan, against the spread last year, my mentor Alex Crawford, he did the sports show for 3 years. He is a gigantic Clippers fan, so I know if he ever heard this, he'd be angry. But he's a Clippers fan till the end of the earth. But I don't know. This year could be their year, because I would say they can make a lot more strides than they did last year, but not a Clipper believer.
No.
Yeah. We'll see what happens in the West. The West is probably one of the most intriguing this year. The West could be the most intriguing it's ever been. Putting it out there. With the addition of Memphis is looking.
Yeah, because you got
Memphis is looking.
Yeah, you got San Antonio, Golden State, OKC, Houston. Yeah, there's so many teams out there.
Pelicans. 2 and 3 to start.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People are already hating on the Bulls, but Derrick Rose is going to come back. He's going to be rusty after a year. It's expected, but I think they're going to come back and be top 3 in the East.
No, the teams that's actually surprising is Phoenix.
Yeah. Well, we all knew Eric Bledsoe was really good, but
Eric Bledsoe.
Miles Plumlee is doing pretty good. Gerald Green actually.
He's
putting on numbers.
Phoenix with that surprising upset to the Blazers in the Blazers' first game of the season. A loss to the Spurs by only 3 points. And
win's a win.
It's Phoenix, but I'm going to be going personally. I'm going to the Blazer game next week against Phoenix, so that should be a good game.
Let's see us get some revenge.
I'm finna get the motor rocking. I want to get that McMuffin.
McMuffins.
Chalupa.
Yeah, I'm a Chalupa fan. Taco Bell is my boy, or my thing. I don't know what you would call it. I just like Taco Bell. But yeah, a lot of interesting NBA talk. Where do you guys see the East finishing out?
Pacers, Bulls, Heat, somewhere in the top 3.
Pacers, Miami, and then I don't even know who could be the next one after that. Maybe New York.
Maybe Brooklyn.
But
people are saying after the Tyson Chandler injury, that could hurt New York tremendously.
Yeah. Well, he was their only source of defense.
He's their only defense, their only source of rebounds. Carmelo doesn't do anything.
Melo boards, but he doesn't really.
Really?
Yeah.
No. I hate Meta World Peace so much.
Trash.
Do you think he's maybe the most hated player in the NBA?
No, not now.
Dwight Howard?
Yeah.
I'd be yeah.
Back in the
Blake Griffin.
Back in the good old Palace days.
I hate Blake Griffin.
I think all Portlanders hate Blake Griffin.
He's on my fantasy team, He's my only source of power forward points, but I hate him. Go home, Blake. You're just weird. You look weird.
I hate how he's getting all those sponsorships and he hasn't even really.
He's
been an all-star, but he hasn't really done anything. I mean,
he jumped over a car, Grant. He jumped over a car.
He jumped over a car hood. I could do that in 2nd grade. Okay, not really. Though.
Overrated.
It's the it's the beast that is Hollywood. When you go to LA, you are consumed. He's living the life, Hollywood lifestyle. That's kind of why Dwight left, because Dwight's a baby and he can't handle anything.
He's go hang out with Kurt Cobain in Houston.
Oh, yeah. Dwight's another story that we can talk about after. We'll talk about the Rockets as they slowly climb the ladder this year. But yeah, we've got some good NBA talk. Is there any last minute topics you guys want to cover?
Go LSU Tigers.
Go LSU. Go Blazers tonight against Sacramento. Get us over the hump of 2-2. We want to be 3-2. Tons of NBA games tonight. And it's a bye week for the Beavs. We can take a much needed mental rest on Saturday.
I think the players would agree.
Players would agree. I know a lot of the players are going home for the weekend, be with their family. It could be good. It could be good to get that home time.
Yep. And I just want to say thank you to all our listeners for checking in and supporting us on.
Yeah.
KBVR.
Hopefully next week we'll have maybe an in-studio guest.
We're working on
hopefully get some.
If you guys want to tweet at us, we can all go around saying our Twitter names. I'm at jmcgrady7.
I'm at LT McGinnis.
And I'm at GVD35.
If you guys have any specific topics you want to talk to us about, just tweet at us. If you want to, we're working on getting some guests in studio. If you want to get some guests in, tweet at us. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're going to be podcasting the shows, Second String Sports. So yeah, it's been a good show. Bye week. Looking forward to the games this weekend, and we'll see you guys soon. This has been KBVR Corvallis, 88.7 FM, Second String Sports.
Pow. Peace.